Hey everybody, Steven here, and today looking at a product from Onforu or Onforu. Hopefully I'm pronouncing one of those correct. But this company reached out to me. They have a bunch of different lighting options. LED light strips, RGB ones, floodlights, Bluetooth speakers, and then this one right here, which is a smart LED light. So this actually works with Alexa, with Amazon Alexa here. So very, very similar to the Philips Hue like light bars. So this is an ambience light bar. So let's get this thing unboxed and then I'll talk about the specs with it. This does cost $69.99. Let's pull the top, and this is going to be used with what I have right here, which is my like B-roll desk area that I'm setting up and that I'm working on. So when they reached out to me, I was like, this is going to fit perfect for that. Looks like we have some huge 3M strips if you wanted to mount these on the walls, which I might do. Now I have my autonomous light right here, the ultra wide LED desk lamp. I also have my 530 RGB lights from Newer, but that is a little much, and it works great, but I'm looking to potentially condense, so I'm hoping this really fits the bill for that. So we have our wall mount if you wanted to wall mount this. This looks like the base, potentially, for that. Another one. Oh, here's our base. And then I guess you would click these into this so that it has weight to it. Is what it looks like. Yep. So you'll screw that in. We have the foam on the bottom here so it won't slide much, and then you actually have a little bit of a hook area right here to run the cord. So let's get our actual lights out. So this comes with two. Here they are. Oh, and they run off the same cable. Okay. I thought they were potentially going to be separate. But we have the one right here, right? And then the other one right here. So hopefully they provide a good amount of light because they're not massive here, right? And I mean, you could tell that from the box. And then this is going to be our power cable here with one clicking switch on, off. And then what do we have here? And then other ways to mount this is what it looks like. And it looks like that's it. So this is an RGB light. I'm assuming you have to use the app because there isn't a controller that comes with this. Let's talk about the specs really quick though. So these are two 6-watt lights. The adapter voltage is 100 to 240 volts AC, 500 or 50 to 60 hertz. It's RGB plus 5000K all the way to 2700K. Connection type is Wi-Fi. Life expectancy is 50,000 hours. Beam angle is 120 degrees. No mercury content. Energy cost $1.45. Estimated yearly cost based on 3 hours per day with a 11 cents kilowatt per hour conversion. Depends on rates. We're lower than that here where I'm at. But let's get this thing set up. So I'll get this thing set up. We'll put them on the corner here, and then I'll get the app downloaded, and we'll see how this thing works. All right, so I am all set up here. It took longer than I thought it was going to take, and I'm going to talk about that here in a second. But let's go ahead and actually turn these on. I am going to have a bunch of B-roll kind of going over different sections of this to showcase the lighting effects that you can do, the setup and things like that. But with turning this on, just pop up the app, and then we can simply click on these and we can turn these on. So, touch of a button. One of the cool features with this, outside of all the color changes that you can do and everything, and it's really one of the big upsides, is going to be the Alexa integration. But I want to restructure this a little bit different. Usually I go good, bad, and then I finish the video. I'm going to talk about the bad first with this, because this took a minute to set up. So I thought it was going to be quick and easy. I actually use the Smart Life app with some lights that I have at my training studio, and figured it was going to be quick and simple because it was with those products, and that was not the case. I reached out to the rep that sent these to me, and he sent me a video, and I was like, I'm doing everything that they're doing in the video. I don't know what's going on. Tried it again. I had moved them to shoot some B-roll, so I had them on the floor, and then I moved them forward, and then one of them connected, and then I was like, I'm wondering if it's the distance from my router, my wireless router. So moved them forward, and it finally worked for me. So I think that was my issue, is that I was just too far away from my Wi-Fi signal with these. So if you're having issues, potentially check that. It just wasn't registering. It'd pull it up, it would say it was looking for it, it'd run its 2 minutes, and then it would just stop. So with these, I finally got them connected after 2 weeks, so it was driving me crazy with them. And so I'd take breaks, come back, take breaks, come back. But I think that was the big issue with this, because once they're set up, they've been fine. I don't have them paired to each other. I may actually kind of pull them apart, take them downstairs, because I'm in like the opposite corner of where the router is. So one of the further distances away from that. So I may do that to try to sync them, because I do believe you can actually sync these up. But working them independent is fine. So that was one of the bad things with this, is just the trouble. I think I have it solved with that, but kind of a bummer to hit right off the bat when you want to get this thing set up and you're expecting that it's going to go smooth. After that, the lumens, I couldn't find the lumens with this. They're not the brightest. I mean, it's bright. We have two 6-watt lights here, right? It's just not incredibly bright. This is the brightest. Now, I have the lights on in here and I have natural light coming in. I'm going to have the footage right now showcasing all the lighting effects pop up so you guys can see me scrolling through all of those, and then you can see that is in a completely dark room. So all the different colors that you can cycle through, the brightness levels, the contrast levels, you can do different scenes, and then you can edit those scenes where you're having it doing a breathing cycle and change the colors with that. You can go to white. So there are a bunch of different lighting effects that you can do with this, which is awesome. But they're not incredibly bright, so they're not really going to fit for what I wanted them to be with my B-roll station here. I may change up where I place these, because the good news is these have multiple configurations for how you can set it up. So I'll make sure that B-roll pops up for that as well, where you can clip these to the wall. I didn't actually clip any of these to the wall, so this is literally just me showing that this is the easy setup for it, right? Because the clips are super easy, and you would mount this to the wall, so you could literally pop them into the wall. And then the angled bracket is interesting because of how they've done the angle, and I'll actually have to make sure that the picture from their Amazon page on this shows up, because you can do this in a ton of different ways, more so than I realized when I was just trying to showcase it on camera. So really cool setup with these. And then I have obviously the standing configuration. I like this the best for what I'm going to be doing with it. But not only can you change it in all these different ways, which is awesome, but the fact that you could mount it to the wall if you wanted to, because they have all this stuff here, and not need to worry about how you would do that yourself. And it does come with 3M tape, so if you didn't even want to mess with that necessarily with screwing something in, they do give you that, which is nice. And those are good foam 3M tape, double-sided tapes right there. So like I said, not the brightest. You do have the option for all these different configurations, which is awesome, which is actually one of the upsides, which I'll talk about again here in a second. But for the price point, $70, which I think is a negative. So $70 normally, right? But it's discounted. So this is like, this almost gets into like a gray area. So normally $70, $69.99. Discounted right now to $54.99 plus a 10% off coupon. So another $5.50 off, right? So they get you down to $49. Do I think it's worth it at $49? Yes. At $70? No. Now, if you needed something that was really, really bright, they have their, and a lot of them are meant for outdoor, they actually have their LED lights that, I'm forgetting the style or the name of it, but those you can actually use. They're like floodlights basically, but you can use those outside, and they have little stands that you can just prop them up. I have some of those at the gym, and they illuminate the ceiling just to give some cool ambiance when I'm training clients. But those are really, really bright, and those prices can range. But if you're needing something brighter, they're, I do believe they have some products that are within that price range that would be even brighter than these. So they won't look as aesthetically pleasing as these, but they may be brighter, which is what you're looking for. So those are really the negatives with the one gray. In terms of the good, I mentioned how versatile these are. Tape them to the wall, stand them up, use the angles here if you want to do multiple angles with that. I do like that feature with this, and the fact that it comes with it, so you're not actually just searching for how you're going to do that yourself. The lighting effects, great lighting effects with all of this. Like I mentioned, how you can change everything, all the different scenes and things that you can do like that, that are really nice touches with this. So I definitely say that is a huge plus. We have the breathing right now going. And then Alexa, mentioned that at the beginning. So bringing up my Alexa app here, you can control it directly from Alexa. So in terms of devices, I renamed these within the app so they pop up as that. So go to lights here, left RGB, right RGB, turn that off, turn it back on, right? Or Alexa, turn off right RGB.
Okay.
How cool is that? So that's where you're seeing that increase in the price point, is that this does work with Alexa. And for some people, that's going to be a big draw. For some people, it's not going to be a draw at all. If they don't use Alexa or they don't want to mess with that and they don't want any voice commands, then they can find other products where maybe the price is a little bit cheaper because you don't need that feature. But I think that is one of the reasons why we're seeing the higher price point compared to other things where they're RGB light bars like this, right? Alexa, turn on right RGB light.
Okay.
Boom. So that is a really nice feature, depending on whether or not you need it. So there's some really cool stuff going on with these. I just still wish they would be brighter. With a very well lit room, you're not going to see these. And certain lights you wouldn't see incredibly well anyways, but with how big these are in the price point, and like I said, I couldn't find the lumens. It just would have been nice if we would have seen this just a notch up, where it would create, and just like depends on how you're using this, because I'm thinking behind a TV or your gaming monitor or something like that, I think it's going to project okay. It could project a little bit better. So there is the good and bad with this. Overall, I'm quite pleased with these. Would I purchase these on my own? I think personally I would probably go with some of the floodlights, because I like oversaturated, very bright RGB lights. So I probably would go with those personally. These aren't going to work for the B-roll that I was hoping to do with this. They're just not bright enough, especially compared to my newer RGB 530s here, where this is 1200 lumens. It's just going to drown that light out. So probably give these to my son, or I'll actually put them downstairs with the second PC rig that I have in the house. Mine is just, it has a whole bunch of lights. I don't need more lights over here. So I'll probably end up using them for that. Like I said, either my son's PC or my PC. But that's going to be it for this one. If there's anything that I didn't cover in this that you guys want to know about, let me know in the comment section, and I will definitely answer that for you there. If you like the video, hit the like button for me. If you want to continue to follow along with all my content, hit the subscribe button for me. And I'm going to have a link for this, as well as the floodlight style lights. Like I said, I actually have a pair of those at the studio. I'll actually have a link for those as well, so you can kind of compare the two and see the differences and see what would work best with you. So that's going to be it. Thank you so much for watching. Check back soon for more videos.